Friday, innit? Friday. Fuck it, Mrs. Duckett. That's what they used to say, innit? Yeah? Not say it around your end, Rip. Uh, where's the Colonel? Get in touch, Colonel. Yeah? Let us know you're alright. Sean as well, if possible. I think the voice is still around and he under a different name. Anyway. Uh, comments regarding the eviction on the last post. Some wonderful stuff, you know. Cracking, intelligent, you know, thoughtful. People who know what they're talking about. I don't mean the ones made by Matty Boy or that other mush who talks about eating shit out of his granny's knickers. I mean, there is a lot of need for mental health fucking treatment in this country, and here we have both, you know, the intelligent and the, well, truly fucking. That's a loss, to be honest. But yeah, the comments Daz just said about getting it on TV, the state of that place and all that. Not that easy, is it? I've been in touch with Shelter this morning, or tried to be, and I tried to get in touch with the Housing Ombudsman. Shelter, I mean, it must be horrific if you're out there on the streets now. You got the phone number. They don't do what the DWP do, let you wait in a queue. They just cut you off straight away if there's no one available. I know it's a free number, but do you know what I'm saying? It's appalling what's going on. Housing Ombudsman is the government anyway. And as our mate says on here, XIG, is it? CYS? Defective state? No, man, that's a wonderful paragraph you've put on there, mate. Totally agree with everything you're saying. We're in a very defective state, mate. We are being controlled and treated like shite, mate. And no one could put it better. That's what I'm talking. We've got some very, very intelligent people in here who are seeing through the mist that so many don't, you know. And that's what's concerning me. There's so many that aren't seeing it. I know with age, things become more clear. I also know with youth and young people and people who haven't had a life, they're very easy to manipulate, to negatively empower, as I say. If you go on Gateway Housing Association's website, all you see is empower this, empower that. Yeah. And they talk about empowering tenants to get involved. The only thing they're empowering are the fucking young kids that they take on and use as joeys. Yeah? The young people, the type who asked for my eviction, the type who asked, you know, who went through all the court proceedings. These are young people, young girls in most cases, empowered, given a bit of power, far too much power, in the sense that they're not old enough or experienced enough to actually realise what the consequences could be of the power they have been given. But they're given that power by the big boys who would rather stay in the background and, as I said, treat these girls and these young people as joeys. Yeah? A safe house to stash the gear. Yeah? A few quid a week. You do the fucking dirty work. Yeah? I'll pass it on to X, Y, and Z. And that's what's frightening me, because what the guy talks about the defective state is that there are so many associations around now, like Gateway Housing Association. So many. The Department of Work and Pensions is full of them. Universal Credit is their arm. Job Centre Plus, full of G4S guys who haven't got really much knowledge about life. You know, I can't forget my case in court where the guy who assaulted me stood up and said, I've never been accused of something like this before. He says, in my 8 years as doing this job, he was really proud to be doing that job. I wonder how many other people he'd assaulted in that time. Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. The other guy who said, I did it. You know, the other G4S guy who says it pays the wages, it spent time in the army. You fucked it if you've done that. I've got some great lads out of the army, me working with me. A lot don't fucking ever get past that indoctrination. And we are in a terrible state where we're being used and we're being... There's just one story after another on the news at the moment. I mean, I had Radio 4 on the other night to listen to an article about that 17-year-old vulnerable kid who the council gave a tent. Yeah, to, because they couldn't house him. I mean, that was fucking unbelievable. I'm not BBC, man, but sometimes they come up with a documentary. And he was interviewed and his mother was interviewed. That was fucking incredible. That was a council, yeah, who housed this young, vulnerable 17-year-old lad in a fucking tent in the middle of fucking it pissing down and everything else. He was sexually abused during this case. His tent got fucking that wet. They had to buy him another fucking tent. Yeah, and the fucking chief of the council has the cheek to say he thought it would never happen and that being in a tent was something we'd never get to, but it was better than letting him go on the street. He might have been better on the fucking street, if you ask me. I found some of the comments to be fantastic regarding that last video. And I've not answered them because I want to talk about them on here. And if I miss somebody out, then I'm sorry. But, you know, Steve Young, is it, you know, on about Preston Council giving Gateway Housing Association all their houses for £1 each. It was... I'm sure, I just read actually, I mean, I was evicted in 2012, yeah, Gateway Housing Association took over in 2005, so it was a long time before, for them to still have a shithole like that, and them to have gone through it, putting a new kitchen in, and a new bathroom in, and passing that as fit for human habitation, after being in control of all Preston's council houses for 7 years, tells you exactly what I'm talking about. But they work in conjunction with each other, mate. Yeah? It's a scam. Half the board members, the Preston Council staff, half the people, well, 90% of the people who are employed there on the tools are ex-Preston Council. Most of them got redundancy, then got re-employed. You know, the same with board members. It's a big scam. You know, unlike Adrian Robinson, the top man at Preston Council told me that we have nothing to do with that. They have a lot to do with it, yeah. It's just been really a way of taking the housing, the social housing, the council houses that belong to the people off, let's say, you know, the cost of the council. The council have no more responsibility in it now. Yeah, they're still charging you as much council tax, still doing this X, Y, and Z. A bit like the fucking buses. They did the same with them. They sell everything off they can. Yeah. So it just leaves enough for them to play about with, yeah. But I mean, that's just another point I'm trying to make. You know, they haven't really gone from Preston City Council. They're just in a different pocket. You know what I mean? It's like taking a tenner out and saying you bought a round of drinks with it, but you really slipped it in your back pocket. And I don't know whether I mentioned this earlier on in this video. I did in one that I've just had to actually fucking wipe off because I ran out of memory. But I'm a bit of a... This is my fucking Hillsborough, as Paul says, the Scouser, you know. This is my Hillsborough. I know the advice is that nothing's ever going to be done about it, no matter what I say about it. It's not something I can drop. I don't drop things that easily. I suffer from OCD, you know, obsessional compulsive disorders. Besides that, I don't feel as though I was targeted. I feel as though my family were targeted. I feel as though Big Zoons, my mum, yeah, my dad, and my fucking most important thing in my life, my son, were targeted by the likes of Dunkley, by the likes of Halliwell, yeah, and that's why I can't let it drop. If it had been me, maybe I could have let it drop. But it's doubtful. Over the years, I've not been like that. I'll tell you stories one day about not revenge I've carried out, but how it's took a long time for me to sit down and look at the person who's abused me in the past and raise a glass to the situation they're in at that time. And it is a karma type thing, you're right. You know, and we do like to watch a bit of Shard and Freud, you know, bad luck upon others. And I am a Buddhist, but some of my beliefs aren't all Buddhist. I shouldn't drink like I do. But do you know what I'm saying? It's about the current state we're in, isn't it? Yeah? The current state we're in is appalling. It's undeniable. It's all over. There's an article last night where a couple in York, he worked, I forgot what he was doing, but he became seriously with his art. His wife or his girlfriend worked as a chef in the pubs there. She lost her job. They just spent fucking 8 weeks in a tent in the woods. Yeah? Because of universal credit with the dog. And the hostels wouldn't take them because they had a dog. The fuck am I living in? This is inhuman. This is not a fucking society. While, as we said earlier, we're surrounded by groups of these people. DWP, G4S, local authority, housing associations, who have in amongst them all these negatively empowered people who are from our group. You know, you can go home at night and sit in the fucking table and your fucking sister, your daughter, might be part of these, being filled full of shit by this fucking negatively empowering fucking dealer who's using her as a joey to do the work he hasn't got the guts to do. But that's what we are seeing. We're seeing our working class heroes, our fellow fucking, you know, working classes being twisted and manipulated and used against us. And we're fucked if that happens. Totally fucked. You know, the days have gone when I was a kid, when there was no DNA, you know, when there was no fucking cameras everywhere, when, you know, your daughter wasn't stored for fucking years from the dickhead causing you some lumber and someone giving him a good hiding on his way home one night. That doesn't happen anymore, mate. And it won't happen anymore. Because everything's being watched from fucking your phone telling you where you are at that time. Oh, and I know you can fucking change your SIM and change this and drop your phone here, and you can wear a white fucking suit if you want, and, you know, and commit your crimes this way. But no, what I'm saying is that as a society, we're breaking down, and we're the ones who are being fucking used. We're being used as fucking, as an excuse that a percentage of our own are pointing fingers at us into such a shit like Benefit Street and all that. From Benefit Street, this has spread like wildfire. This is like a fucking Australian wildfire now. From the minor shit that Benefit Street kicked off on TV, this is like a wildfire, man. There's people all over every town, every city, in the shop doorways. People are dying. Hundreds have died last year on the streets, homeless. And I don't care whether they've died of a drug addiction or whatever else, mate. They don't deserve to die on the fucking streets. A friend of mine has died in the last 24 hours. Not a close friend. But I know a son very well. You know, he's the same age as my son. You know, I know the father of her children very well. Yeah, and she fell on the fucking wrong side of the fucking shit that they fucking jabbed themselves with. And she's dead. In her 40s, a beautiful girl, a beautiful woman. In a time, God almighty, we are living in appalling times. We're living in appalling times, and all of this unconscious, you know, half of this ignorance towards what's going on is our own who think they're doing all right, Jack. Whether they're working for G4S or whether they're evicting people at fucking Community Gateway Housing Association, they're tearing the fucking heart out of this fucking nation. They're pulling it to fucking pieces. They're going to put it in a situation where it won't be able to recover. As for Gateway again, rhubarb, I don't know whether I mentioned that in this video before. And they won't say anything because they're frightened of compromising themselves. They've already compromised themselves. They've compromised themselves for 6 years by not at least giving me an ending to it. Yeah, Dunkley compromised himself in Morrison's fucking car park in court by telling the judge and telling every fucker and me in Morrison's car park that he watches the videos. So he can watch all that shit, report back to his fucking Louise Mattison or whatever her fucking name is, and they can't even answer my fucking questions. Yeah? They can't even give me a reason as to why they did what they did. And the Ombudsman says, go to your local councillor, which I did. Sir Mark Hendrick MP from Preston, who now has me blocked on fucking Twitter, yeah, and started writing on parliamentary paper to Gateway and then just fucking stopped. Yeah, I wouldn't even answer a fucking email or anything off me, or a Twitter fucking message. Yeah, and go and see your councillors, and go and see this, and go and see that. I've seen everybody, and nobody's answered one fucking question. So long as that goes down when I leave this fucking planet, then fair enough. Yeah? If I die in a shop doorway or whatever else, as long as it's known that. And I don't want anyone like my son or any of you people on here to think that I'm fucked. I'm not. I'm feeling a lot better about myself these days. Like I've told you, I'm in a beautiful place. I have a lot of time on my hands, and I look for answers. Yeah, my health's not getting any better, arthritis-wise and such as that. But I do think, right, you know, that I've still got a voice in trying to stop what the fuck is going on. Yeah, but I don't want anyone to think that I'm in the same desperate situation as I was 6 years ago, or as so many are today on these streets. I don't want anyone to think that. Yeah, because I'm not at the moment. You know, I'm enjoying a beer. Yeah, the only fucking thing I get at times is a little bit bored, but that's old age, isn't it? I don't watch that shit in the corner. I just got a letter off them cheeky cunts before. You wouldn't believe it. I thought it was a Christmas card. Came in a red letter. Yeah, the occupier. Cheeky bastards. A big red envelope. But that's an early Christmas card. TV license, eh? Oh, fuck off. Oh, Sam. About, you know, letting water run under the bridge like you're saying you did with your ex-wife. I've done that with fucking dozens of fuckers, mate. You're right, mate. One thing that wouldn't bother me in fucking life is a woman. I can assure you. Takes a bit of a fucking, you know, a few cans to get over it at first, but then, no way, mate. You know what I mean? No. Anyway, it's Friday. And I've had a quiet week, really, so I'm going to have a few beers. The eviction will not, I promise, be brought up again on my YouTube channel. Those videos are in the context I wanted them to be in it. I won't be making a fucking full movie about it. As they were, the 7 or 8 from the State of the House. I might well change that one, but I won't, since I found an editing program. But I won't be boring you lot with it. But so long as it's there, in small chapters, for anybody who wants. I just need somewhere to put it together. Somewhere where I can have it for people to see. Somewhere where people will see it. I don't know what about, whether I could set up a website or whatever. But again, even if you're on things like Vimeo and all that, you don't get the same traffic as you get on YouTube. And I know YouTube has its massive problems with, you know, the guys who plat shit and such. Matty boy. Yeah, but happy Friday, people. And look out for the Colonel. And look out for fucking Sean. Yeah, keep in touch.